Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Welcome to the show, folks. It's Monday morning, and you know what that means. Wake up and kick some ass. Guys and gals, I don't know what else to say except, holy cow, are things getting interesting. We have some of the largest names from the old system literally going on Bloomberg and saying right now is probably a good time to get Bitcoin. Who said that? Ray Dalio this weekend. Do you know who Ray Dalio is? He runs Davos. Do you know what Davos is? That's all the rich, mean people. Folks, everyone is getting off the Titanic that we call the Federal Reserve note. Have you seen the bond market? Have you heard how Trump and the White House just put out a document this weekend explaining if we were going to sell gold and buy Bitcoin, this is probably what it would look like. Folks, the White House ain't going to print up something, create something, and actually push it out in a press release unless it's something they plan on doing. It's kind of a put your toe in the water, see what kind of reaction you get. They're literally talking about selling gold and purchasing Bitcoin with the proceeds. Now, let me tell you why they're not going to roll into gold and they're going to roll into the Bitcoin. This is why. Number one, China has the largest holding of gold of any government in the world, including America. If we push up, if we revalue gold, well, we will revalue it at current prices, then we'll sell it. And we don't even have to sell the gold. What we can do is sell the gold certificates and hold the gold. What's important to see here is that our government, the White House, the Treasury Department, is looking at gold as a leverage item, not a reserve item. Now, mind you, we'll have some in the reserve, just like we'll have oil and all the other commodities and stuff like that. The growth opportunity is in the Bitcoin. Folks, whether your friends like it or not, we're in a new world. We have a new asset class. We have a new commodity, or as Trump likes to call it, currency. It's called Bitcoin. And as it grows in value, I'm telling you guys, I've watched Trump for years and years, watched his language, watched what he said twice in a row. That's how he sends a signal, is he'll say it once, then he'll say it again. That's his, hey, let me emphasize this. Trump has said on several occasions that we've all heard, well, maybe we write them a little crypto check. Maybe we slide them a little bit of Bitcoin and we pay off the national debt. See, Trump's not going to hyper inflate the currency and pay off the actual debt with devalued currency. That would kill the dollar and kill the reputation of a U.S. currency. Trump's not going to do that. What he is going to do is he's going to use the reserves of the Bitcoin and more that they purchase. And at the end of 4 years, right before the next election for president, Trump is going to knock a shitload off of the national debt. And he'll come out and he will actually do what Trump does. And he'll say, promises kept, or promises made, promises kept. Just wrote them a little crypto check for $4 trillion worth of Bitcoin. Because at that point, in 4 years, folks, just going off the conservative price, in 4 years, we remember that's after the next halvening. In 4 years, we're looking at minimum, and I mean bare ass minimum, $500,000 Bitcoin. And that is actually being super conservative. It's going to be more than that, folks. It's going to be a lot more than that. And to help me explain what's going on and all of the madness in the crypto world, here's my partner in crime, Jay. What's up, Jay?
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I like the haircut.
Well, it's been there for a while. I did shave this morning, you know.
Looks good though. Looks good.
And I forgot my hat in a rush, so here we are. Here we are.
No, that's okay. It's I've laid out a couple of things. You and I actually talked right before we went on about we're getting a visit from someone very important in South America.
Yes, our friend in El Salvador, President Bukele, is obviously, many of you know, visiting President Trump right now. In fact, a little bit of trivia about that. He is the very first Latin American head of state that is visiting President Trump in his new presidency. So that sends a signal, right? It's not Brazil, it's not Chile, it's the president of El Salvador. And there are several things that they're talking about, I'm sure, as they meet in Mar-a-Lago, as they meet in the White House. The whole situation with this immigration, and he has come to the aid of President Trump. He supports him very strongly. He's got this maximum security prison.
Here, hold my criminals.
Hold my criminals, and we'll, and there's a deal to be made there, because these are MS-13 members. These are terrible Tren de Agua members, and these guys should not be on American soil. They just should not be on American soil. And it's not always easy to deport them to their home countries because of the dictators there who do not want to take them. They're the ones who send them across the border in the first place. So I think that forms a strong foundation of bilateral friendship. It shows that El Salvador is taking interest in understanding what our needs are, what President Trump's political needs are, and frankly, how to help America. And so when he does that, President Trump will reciprocate with benefits that'll help El Salvador grow. I think the 10% tariffs that cross the board will be taken off for El Salvador at a very minimum. I think that American investment into El Salvador will continue to will continue to grow, which means the investments we are making as Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club in El Salvador,
yep.
are solid investments, resorts, other types of assets. We're actually setting up a structure that'll allow us to make investments in a wide range of assets and asset classes in El Salvador. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, and I don't want to really give away anything, but we are looking at actually purchasing an existing credit union down there. Maybe.
Yes, I mean,
if the numbers work.
That's
why I hired you. You let me know
if the numbers work. I think we'll talk about it more broadly, more generally in general terms.
Yep.
There are assets in El Salvador that are going to continue to significantly increase in value. We have seen this story before. Think of Panama when the canal was built. And now, by the way, we're taking back that canal.
Yes, which is we great. Are.
So that's really, really good.
We're going to call it the American Canal.
That's right. At least not the China Canal.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we saw what happened to Panama. Guys, if you haven't been to Panama, it transformed from a third world country to now you go, it's South Beach, essentially meets Miami meets New York skyline, right? So this is absolutely amazing. I've seen Panama City grow over the last 10 years. I mean, the skyline is spectacular, right? That development, that new Singapore, that new Hong Kong is starting to happen in Central America and Latin America. Cities like Chile and Santiago are starting to look like Manhattan. This is where the next phase of growth is. So we are positioning our private members with exclusive deals in high growth areas. Now, one of the ways we can, as a team, we are all private members in this exclusive club. We are creating opportunities for investment exclusively for our members. One of the ways is to really see and explore if we can have our own bank. And whether we end up doing that in El Salvador or Luxembourg or any other place on this planet, it will give us as a collective whole capabilities to move money and specifically to create opportunities for innovative new products in Bitcoin and the crypto world. So there has to be a bridge between the old world of banking and the new world of digital currency. And I think that's an area that is going to continue to blossom and grow. And if we can bring some exposure, just like we are doing with the loan programs, like the Bitcoin purchase program, like the Bitcoin mining program, what we're looking, folks, our Ben's and my thesis is that there's an entire ecosystem of companies, of assets, a Bitcoin-themed hotel, a Bitcoin-themed resort. Bitcoin will mean a lot of different things to a lot of different industries. And what we want to do is bring unique opportunities to our members in each one of those areas. And now we have a portfolio, a bag, a basket of products and services that benefit you. That as you continue to buy Bitcoin, as Bitcoin continues to grow in asset value, we continue to leverage that. Ben talked about leveraging gold. Gold is a leverage now. Why? Because the gold certificates he talked about is priced. Do you know what it's priced at? $32 per ounce. Okay? Per toy ounce.
Boy, I'll take gold all day long.
All day long.
$32
So
an ounce.
it's still priced at $32 on the books. So when you actually reprice it correctly, which is at $3,000, almost $2,800 an ounce, that difference alone, simply by repricing those certificates, President Trump has close to $1 trillion of free money that he can now put into Bitcoin.
Yep.
Right. So that's your first trillion comes simply from repricing the gold certificates. But not to digress, coming back to what our core thesis is, Ben has built Bitcoin Ben clubs, and we are continuing to expand extremely rapidly. Right. We have Dallas, St. Louis, and Las Vegas on the cards in very quick succession. And our ambitions to grow and bring crypto to the average people, to the masses, does not stop with those 6 clubs, folks.
No,
that's just the beginning.
Yep.
And what we are trying to do is to bring a tremendous amount of value to the early adopters who are going to participate as members of our club. They are going to have available to them a range of products and services, not just in the United States, all across the world. And that is about creating wealth, is generational wealth. It's about creating for the average person this unique opportunity in time where they can actually truly benefit themselves, their communities, their families, and beyond. And this is really about our community, and it's about aligning ourselves with good people.
Yep.
People who respect the Constitution. So, folks, every partnership we are doing, it starts with people with the right values. Right, Ben?
Absolutely. All right, guys, we will be right back after we have a word from our sponsor, CALIX Solutions.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing CALIX Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges. It's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At CALIX Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calixsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. CALIX Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calixsolutions.io.
And we're back. And also, right now at CALIX Solutions, if you call and you order a new laptop, you get $100 off and a brand new Faraday bag to keep your laptop in, so that even if, what's it?
EMP.
Yeah, EMP.
Surges.
Rocket Man. What's the Rocket Man over in North Korea? Trump. Rocket Man. Even if Rocket Man gets a little trigger, your laptop safe. Rest of your house might be gone, but
your laptop and your Bitcoin will be safe.
Your laptop's good. And check out our website at www.calixsolutions.io right now for $100 off and a free Faraday bag. Yep. All right, Jay. On Saturday, you drug me, kicking and screaming, to a political event, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought I would hate it, and I wound up actually loving it. It was, I guess, because it's so nice hearing pro-America, pro-freedom, pro-Bitcoin out of the, I don't want to call them elite political class, but the upper crust of the political class. You knew a lot of people there already, and you actually met a lot of wonderful people. And I actually met some amazing people. Could you give everyone a rundown of the whole event and who we hung out with and took pictures with and sat and talked with?
Sure, I'd love to. So, having political support, especially as Bitcoin starts to become more mainstream, we need to influence policy. We, as a club, we are a large group of people who have been in Bitcoin. Ben has been one of the OGs of Bitcoin. And I think it's important to hear that voice the politicians need to hear that voice, and they need to understand the true essence of Bitcoin. So we are now starting to get more involved with some of these people. There was this wonderful event at Naples Grand, which is a beautiful resort hotel.
Beautiful resort.
It's gorgeous. It was very elegantly done by the Republican Party. We had about 500 to 600 people. The keynote and the main chief guest was a gentleman named Byron Donalds. For people in Florida, we know Byron very well. For other states, Byron is a congressman currently in the Florida House, but he has been endorsed by President Trump to essentially take Ron DeSantis's position as next governor.
Yes,
so there's a tremendous head of steam behind his movement. The governor race is coming up next year in 2026.
And he's a huge supporter of Bitcoin.
Exactly. So he has been very bullish on Bitcoin. He's a black man who's just amazing.
And huge.
He's a big guy.
That's a big guy right there.
And by the way, we got to send him some Bitcoin. Let me tell you something fun first. So we go to this black tie event, and I'm in my tuxedo, and Bitcoin. And I said, amazing. You stay in that shirt. So he shows up. He's the brightest guy in the whole room. Okay, I mean, Bitcoin Ben is recognizable. Let's put it this way. So we got all the Senator, Corey Mills, who represents Florida at the Senate. He's there. Byron is there. There's a bunch of mucky-muck senators, congressmen, and of course the very wealthy people from Naples, which is one of our cities with a lot of money.
All of them had on suits.
All of them had suits. Ben is in this Bitcoin Ben brand, and I loved it. It was just unique. We were sponsors at the event, so we had a table of 10. We had a couple of mayors at the table of Punta Gorda. We had a tremendous advocate for freedom for the black people, a fellow called Mason Weaver.
He was a man. From St. Louis.
Shout
out, Mason.
Yeah, and we'll bring him on the show sometime. He's a dear friend. He's the author of many books, including It's Okay to Leave the Plantation, and his new book called Tribalism, which is going to become a movie now.
Yep.
And that'll be coming out. So again, a tremendous gathering of free thinkers, people who love our sovereignty, and Byron is leading the charge. He's basically follows right behind President Trump and J.D. Vance and speaks about how our nation was founded on the principles of freedom, and that's where we need to go back. So it's about sovereignty, and we are starting to get a Republican group of people with some spine. And the rhinos are being phased out, hopefully sooner than later. And we had people at our table. The chairwoman, Kat Pellegrino, she's fighting for election integrity. She's the chairwoman of the 6 counties where we are, congressional district. So it was a great political event. It was a big fundraiser. There were people bidding up on art and all kinds of things for 20, 30, 40,000. So there's a lot of money there. But what is really important here is that we had a presence, and our members' voices will be heard by the senators and congressmen so that they can start to influence policy in a way that makes Bitcoin more accessible. So there'll be policy on taxes. There'll be policy on the reserves of Florida itself. In fact, I had spoken with Senator Albritton, and his starting point is he wants to buy at least $20 million worth of Bitcoin right away to, create some of the poorer counties in Florida. So these are really good relationships. These are really good events that are starting to happen, and Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club is very proud to be part of it.
Absolutely. As I hate the government, the local government is very important. And we as crypto and freedom enthusiasts, and it's our job. We have to get involved. We have to quit saying somebody needs to do something. You are somebody. I am somebody. Jay is somebody. We need to actually take the horns of the government and make sure they are in the right direction to serve the people and not the interest of whoever gives them the most money. What I loved at the event on Saturday was I heard a lot of real talk. It wasn't muckety muck, It was, kiss my ass.
That's
talk.
Right. That's exactly right.
Real American. It kind of felt like we could have had it at almost like a bar, because although there were a lot of wealthy people there, these are not your average, what you would actually think of as wealth. There were several people that were billionaires, there.
Yep.
And you shake their hand, and hell, it's like you're shaking a friend's hand, real average people just literally saying, we need to fucking do something.
And these guys really do. I mean, there was Alfie Oakes was there. For those who know Alfie, he lives in Naples. He owns Seat to Table, and he's actually probably one of the largest landowners in Florida, one of the top ones. He grows enough food. I mean, I talked to Alfie, and he said, I have enough seed to feed the entire eastern seaboard till 2035.
Yeah.
And he buys his seeds, not from Monsanto. And he's sticking a finger to them because his seeds come from Europe, where the seeds actually regenerate seeds for the next year, as opposed to the Monsanto, the JBS, the Cargills of the world, who neuter the seeds so that you only get one season, and next year you got to go for their genetically modified seed again. So these are, and by the way, here's Alfie, who's a billionaire or very, very wealthy. He's got his, truck wrapped in Trump. Right?
Yes.
So I mean, we have these warriors, and we are aligning with these warriors so that we can all politics is local. That's I think Reagan said that, right? And General Flynn always said that, local action creates national impact. Local is everything. The globalists are over here trying to control the world through the top. We are the localists. We want to make change and affect change in our neighborhoods. How will Bitcoin, how will sovereignty affect our neighborhood? How will it affect the restaurant next door and the gun shop next door? How will we protect their rights? And how will we help them grow and thrive through the increase in value of Bitcoin? Bitcoin's going to go from this $88,000, $90,000, as Ben said, to $500,000 at a minimum. How do we, each one of us, participate in benefiting from that curve? If I showed you the map and I said, here's where the world's going to be, folks, in 4 years, what are the actions you would take now, here?
Yep. Let me add on to this, and this is going to make you smile, because this is very simple. Do you want to know how to save America? It's very simple. Make yourself wealthy. That's it, folks. Make yourself wealthy so your voice is louder. Because this is what I've learned. The more you have, the more you want to give. That's what I've learned. And what we want to do at our club, our complete goal of our club is improve freedom and improve wealth. Oh, and also help you get closer to God. That's really my main goal. But I'm sneaking it in with freedom and wealth. So if you want to help win America back and actually make America great again, and also make America healthy again. Get rich. Because you, as an average Joe or average Jane, as a truck driver or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, God, I hope you're not a lawyer.
Yeah, but we like lawyers.
We like lawyers.
Those who participate with us,
yes,
and support freedom,
yes,
and get the J6 guys out of jail,
amen,
not the other ones.
Amen.
There you go.
And that's why we have set up this club like we have. We are creating every opportunity for you to get more Bitcoin, because the more of you that are wealthy, the more you'll help your local community. The more wealth you actually make, the more you can actually go out and show your family members, your friends who have laughed at you or just not listened to you about Bitcoin. Well, when you're rolling around helping charities, helping churches, and having events, and you're just writing a check or whatever and going, nope, it's covered. Your friends and your family are going to look at you and go, was that the Bitcoin? Yeah, that was a Bitcoin. And it's not too late. And that's why we offer what we offer. Speaking of that, I see our clock. It is time for our next commercial break. We'll be right back, folks.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking saties today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.
You got to love AI.
You got to love AI.
It almost nails it.
You HODL. Right.
You HODL.
We don't want audio.
And don't forget, you want to buy a lot of SATs.
Yeah.
It's all right, guys and gals. We are literally at a point in history where we are creating a new world union. Let me explain. The old world order is dying. It's over. Everything you've seen on Wall Street lately, that's the old system dying. That's all of the economic blood draining out of the old system and moving into the new system. And this new global order is actually going to be a decentralized economic order that is actually based on economics and not war. The old system influenced through the threat of war. What Trump is creating and other world leaders like from El Salvador, what they are creating is what I call a win-win world. And in the win-win world, it is literally we have an exchange of goods. You win, we win, the world wins. And that's what Kelly is actually flying up to talk to Trump about. How can we both win and help our people? And that is such a change. All of these wars are going to go away because there's only two ways that you can influence another country if you are a country. You can influence them through, hey, you do what we say, or we send in the CIA and we overthrow your government. U.S. AID.
Mm-hmm.
Or you say, look, we respect you as a country. We respect your sovereignty. And we want to do economic business with you. This is why we are launching our resorts and hotels in El Salvador. Folks, I've heard high-level El Salvadorian officials. One of them is, I don't remember her name. She's the Secretary of Tourism there. I don't remember her name. She basically said El Salvador wants to be the crypto, leader in South America. They know America is going to be the world leader, but they want to lead through example for South America. And folks, there's a lot of wealth, and I'm sure Jay will actually touch on this here in a second. There's a lot of wealth in South America. A lot of wealth. And there's a lot of opportunities in South America. The problem is we've lived in a system that didn't reward growth. It rewarded war and conflict. That's all going away now. Now that we have Trump and other world leaders, they're switching. Jay, you have years of experience with actually doing a lot of South America business. Lay out what you see at a high level of how this is shifting and why it's so important. We have resorts and all of that in El Salvador and eventually other places in South America.
Great point, Ben. You know, there is the war economy and then there's a peace economy. And we are truly, it's President Trump is talking about peace. And when you have peace in the world, and it's not to sound like some, one of those beauty queens on the world, we want world peace. Yeah. President Trump is actually creating the structure, the socio-economic, geopolitical structure that is necessary to create peace and growth through peace. What an amazing idea. Instead of what the globalists have done for the last many generations, which is wealth through creating conflict and war. So we are transitioning from a war economy. And by the way, Democrats and liberals, conservatives, they're all these rhinos. They were all in the same camp. They were feeding off the same teat. They were getting their pockets filled by the same guys. So, this is not about. President Trump has taken the high road to want to bring peace in this world, all the way from the Middle East to conflicts. We don't want to have a battle with China. So the shift is going to be, it will become an economic battle. And this economic battle is fought with a different set of weapons. The weapons come in the form of minerals. They come in the form of commodities, of grains and silos of sugar and corn and rice. Africa is going to become geopolitically an important hotbed going into the next 10 years because there's a lot of population there. There's a lot of minerals there. But South America is where it is now. New York and London is done. Those are museums. They're antiques of the past. That's not where the growth engine is. The growth engine is in Asia. The growth engine is in South America. Now, focusing in on El Salvador. El Salvador is the smallest of the Latin American, South American countries. And that is precisely why it creates a tremendous opportunity to be a test pilot, a pilot country with which we can do bilateral treaties, a test country where we can put our foothold for investment. And as we make investments in a broad range of assets within El Salvador, and I'm going to talk a little bit about those, that gives us the jumping off point to go into places like Chile, like Argentina. By the way, Javier Milei in Argentina is also a great friend of President Trump's. He's a great friend of freedom, and he has been coming over to meet President Trump as well. And I think the assets, the mineral assets that are there, the natural resources that are there are going to become valuable, and tourism is going to open up as well. So you got Argentina, you got Chile, you got Peru, you got Bolivia, you have, and then up top you have Colombia and Ecuador, Uruguay, Paraguay. So these are beautiful countries, and certainly not to mention the biggest one of them, Brazil. The Middle East is investing billions, hundreds of billions of dollars into Brazil because of the food supply, because of the mineral supply, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the high-level view why South America is going to become a very critical player in our growth, in our economic development, right? So now specifically within El Salvador, our strategy has been, we have already established, I'm allowed to give names out of our company, right? So Genesis Growth Capital. So yeah, we're establishing basically a holding company within El Salvador. It'll be called Genesis Growth Capital, where we are going to put investments that'll then go into different types of assets. So one of the assets, as you know, we are working on is resorts. Again, we like these type of assets. We are planning to make the world's first Bitcoin-themed resort in El Salvador. El Salvador is already a country of Bitcoin. It is its national currency. We are talking to the vice president, who will hopefully be a part of opening ceremonies, etc., when we do open our resort. So that is a large asset that we're looking at. We love these type of assets because it generates cash flow for our investors. So by doing this, we're getting a foothold into the South American, Latin American market from which we can grow. We will be looking at other types of assets, like I mentioned. We'll be looking at financial companies that we can invest into that'll help create new types of financial structures, Bitcoin-related credit cards, Bitcoin-related debit cards, checking accounts, and those are the kind of new innovative products we'll work with our partners to start to expand our footprint into. There's also the commodities world, food supply. I think food supply is really important for our members. Clean, organic, non-mRNA jab beef, cattle, coffee. Coffee is one of the big exports of El Salvador. So again, there's tremendous investment opportunities that we are going to go. We're going to put our flag up there. We're going to find these investments. We're going to bring them back to you. We're going to bring them back to you. We'll filter them. We'll sieve them. We'll sort them. And once we have that foothold within El Salvador, we run that pilot. Now we can scale. Now we can go from there into Chile, into Colombia, into Panama, into Ecuador, into Argentina. All of these countries become available to us because we have already got a track record. We are running a business there. We know how to move money. We know how to make investments. We have the right structure in place. So that's the direction we are taking, folks. And I think it's a very exciting way. We're going to be very careful about how we, and how much exposure we take. But this is certainly an area of development. At the same time, we are making amazing investments within our good old homeland in Texas, in Kentucky, and even in Mexico. Bitcoin mining farms, technology companies that are investing in Bitcoin. Mm-hmm.
That's actually something I want to talk about is I'm sending you soon for a trip to Dubai. This is one of the opportunities that we are bringing you guys as our members. We have friends over in Dubai who have set up a program that is extremely generous, and that's something we will be bringing you once you come back.
I can actually start a little bit of teaser on that. So you all know we're already in Bitcoin mining. We are doing that in Texas. I just got back from Silverton, Texas, where they have in excess of 250,000 megawatts, 250 megawatts, 250,000 machines, ant miners running there. Yeah. 50 buildings full of humming miners. We talked about it. We have facilities in Kentucky. We have facilities in Iowa. We have facilities, 2 in Mexico, and one coming up. It's spinning up. And this is all through publicly traded companies that we are partnering with. So the real deal, folks. This is the real deal. One of them is spinning up in Abu Dhabi as we speak, in Emirat, UAE. And they have a special program for a limited time where normally a minimum silo is $1 million. But what they are willing to do with us, because of the personal relationships, is put $500,000 in, but they would basically match another $500,000 worth of miners and equipment. So we get a whole $1 million of equipment running on day one. So $500,000 gets you $1 million worth of equipment. As long as we start producing Bitcoin, we start paying them back over the next 6 to 12 months. But it's going to be 0% interest because under their law, they're not allowed to charge interest. They're not allowed to loan. It's just what their religion and law says, which is to our advantage. So we don't get charged for it, but they're willing to bring the business in there. I'm actually going to go and see those facilities, walk the floor, make sure it is consistent with what we want to do. But I've been to Dubai many times. I mean, it's a world-class city. It's a world-class organization. These guys do not skimp on stuff.
No.
The pieces that we will look at is the immersion cooling systems and the water cooling systems, as opposed to air cooling, which we have in Texas. And so a little more cost on that side because of the immersion cooling, but you also get more efficiency on the ASIC chips because it's immersion cooling. But nonetheless, on the big picture level, that's a great opportunity for someone with $500,000 or more to invest. And I think in the very short time frame, I'm talking weeks or maybe a month, we will be able to make that investment into Abu Dhabi and in the Emirates, expanding our investment footprint.
You'll fly over. If you like what you see, I'll actually give the approval. You ink it, and we're off to the races.
Indeed.
All right. Now, we are getting ready to wrap up here, folks. Let everyone know who's interested in our loan program. We have a few updates, or maybe not. I wasn't really paying attention at the morning meeting this morning because I was doing something else. But I think what's the information and what should people do in order to utilize our loan program?
I'm going to give you a quick update on the loan program. So many of you have already applied for the loans. As I mentioned, we have well over $4.5, close to $5 million worth of loan applications. 941-413-6920. Call the number if you have not applied for your loan. The important aspect here is that the first tranche of loans have already been dispersed. Many of our members have already sent us the money to buy Bitcoin on our bulk Bitcoin purchase program. So every week we are purchasing hundreds of thousands of dollars of Bitcoin on behalf of no KYC Bitcoin for our members on the loan program. If you haven't applied, do apply. If you have applied, remember there are two programs that we have under the same application. The first one is the 0% APR. Now, if you do not qualify for that for any reason, don't despair. You're still going to be considered for the term loan program, which is 3 to 5 year term. I just talked to our loan partners. They are willing to do some of the bigger loans from 7 to 12 years potentially.
Wow.
This is absolutely brand new information I'm bringing you. So for more than $250,000 or so dollars worth of loan, we can actually put you in the 7 to 12 year program.
Wow. Imagine that. You actually purchase the Bitcoin now.
Yes.
And you have an 11-year loan on it. How much is Bitcoin going to be worth in 11 years?
And more importantly, your monthly payment gets reduced, right? Like when you go and buy a car, if it's a 4-year and you're at 800,000, but the moment it becomes 72 months, you drop down to $400, right? Yep. Or whatever. Yep. It's the same idea. So if you're taking a $250,000 loan over 5 years versus 10 years, your payments are significantly lower on a monthly basis. So we've been pushing the terms with our lenders more to get you the best opportunities to get the loan that you want and that you need to invest into these different programs that we are setting up. The Bitcoin purchase program is the most basic program. You should have Bitcoin. But once you have a significant number of Bitcoin, at least more than one, we have other programs like I'm talking about mining, where you're converting your Bitcoin into a secondary loan and you're using that, you're hodling the Bitcoin, but you're using that to create new cash flow, which can be very beneficial for certain types of investors and our members to benefit from. So the program is going great. Just new programs are coming on the table.
Yes.
And new loan partners are being signed up as we speak.
Yes. And so basically, we have a loan for you, one way or another, as long as you're approved. We have a wide loan structure. So if you're interested in basically getting a lot of actual Bitcoin now and actually paying over time, we're here for you, folks. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you do what you can, just like Michael Saylor, that's what he's doing. He's getting loans against future profits of his company, and he's buying more Bitcoin. He just bought another $300 million this weekend. And apparently word is he's literally going to buy every week. That guy kills me. You can do that. Give us a call at 941-413-6920. It's an easy process. You fill out the application. We see which ones you qualify for. We present them to you. Voila. There you go.
I'll add one more thing. Here's Michael Saylor buying every week. He's basically dollar cost averaging every week. When you actually invest into Bitcoin mining, you're dollar cost averaging every 10 minutes.
Yes, yes. Your dollars, that's a great point. Absolutely. All right, Jay, once again, another successful episode of the Bitcoin Ben Show. You have a meeting tomorrow morning, so you won't be able to do the show, will you?
No, not tomorrow morning. We have to meet a large bank.
Yes, we are in communications with some very interesting people that Jay will or may not be able to talk about on Wednesday or on Thursday. We shall see. Everyone, have a great day. We love you. Get your Bitcoin loan, 941-413-6920. And see you guys tomorrow morning. Love you guys.
Welcome to the future of finance. Are you ready to unlock your crypto potential? At Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, we're not just a community, we're a revolution. We're a thriving community with educators that can help you get started. With clubs nationwide, your membership opens doors across the country. We can offer you no KYC Bitcoin purchases through the club. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, where friends become family and everyone's invited to the crypto revolution. Join us today and give us a call at 562-526-0813. Your crypto adventure awaits.